this whole issue of giving the council the ability to determine whether we still have further need of county property is as a result of this legislation, which I will note was one of the very few pieces of legislation ever vetoed by Mr. Leggett. We had to override his veto on that. So now the reality is, without going into details of what happened in closed session, because we can't disclose what happened in closed session, we don't have a plan yet today. We don't know precisely where to relocate the buses, and as a result, we need to leave them at Jeremiah Park until we know where they go in a satisfactory manner. The Carver Education Center is unsuitable. I will not support it. I believe there's a majority. I believe there's a majority of council members who share that view, but they can state their view as we proceed. I do have a question on page 10 of the memo. The following amounts have been expended or programmed for relocation of facilities from the county services park, total of $407 million. How does the county propose to recoup those expenditures? When Mr. Leggett took office, the whole smart growth relocation initiative was billed as paying for itself. Where we now stand in June of 2016, when and how do we anticipate that this $407 million is going to be recouped? Can somebody from the executive branch answer that?
David Dice, Director of Department of General Services. I don't have the spreadsheet that was originally used to demonstrate that, but as you recall, it was both a combination of land proceeds as well as tax revenues offset by the development that would occur on the various sites, including the Shady Grove Service Park and the Public Safety Training Academy. There was a combination of puts and takes that resulted in a cost neutrality calculation.
And so a lot of it comes from increased tax revenue from the increased profitability and value of the developed land.
That is correct. Not tax increases, but increased revenue through the residential and commercial development that takes place on those properties.
And we have this conversation all the time. And let's get, and I know Linda McMillan has been vocal on this for many years, but let's get an updated spreadsheet, and let's make sure that the updated spreadsheet nets out the increased county expenditures attributable to the residents in the residences. That we often have this conversation about whether residential development actually results in increased net revenue because the people who move into the homes use county services. So if we could please get an update of that spreadsheet and assess where we stand today.